Dear students, wishing you all a very pleasant morning. Jai Swaminarayan. I hope all of you are fine and diligently accomplishing the assigned work. Today we will be discussing civics lesson number 1, the Indian Constitution. As you have already watched in the above video, what is a constitution and why does a country need a constitution? Now I will be discussing key features of the Indian Constitution with you. So students, let us learn about the key features of the Indian Constitution. First important key feature of the Indian Constitution is federalism. It means the existence of more than one level of government. In India we have three levels: center, state and district. All the three levels of the government exercise their power and functions according to the provisions of the Constitution. Second important key feature is parliamentary form of government. In this, a distinction is made between the head of the state and the head of the government. The president is the head of the state and the prime minister is the head of the government. The government is in the name of the president, but actually the administration is carried out by the prime minister with the help of his council of ministers in the center and chief ministers in the state. The third important key feature of Indian Constitution is separation of powers. If we take a simple example of our daily life, one person cannot do all the work, and if it is assigned like that, there will be a mess. So if we separate the work according to the qualification of a person or of a department, the work can be done smoothly. So this separation of power is really helpful and it's a unique feature of Indian Constitution. The three organs of the state are legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature has the powers to make law. It has and executive has the power to execute the laws, and the judiciary, it has the power to judge and apply punishment when the rules are broken. The fourth important key feature of Indian Constitution is fundamental rights. Actually, it is referred to as the conscience of Indian Constitution. Means it tells us that what is right and what is wrong, what we should do and what we should avoid to do. And it also protects the people against arbitrary and absolute exercise of powers by the states. There is also a provision of directive principles of state policy which ensure greater social and economic reform. Another important feature of Indian Constitution is secularism. A secular state is one which officially does not promote any religion. Like in our country India, we are free to profess, propagate or practice a religion of our choice. No one is forcing us to follow a specific religion. Indian Constitution is the most detailed document. It is a living document, means something that has real meaning in everybody's life. It is flexible. That means if any changes are needed, they can be made in it. Difference between government and state. Government administer and enforce laws and can change with elections. Government is a part of state, whereas state is a political institution that represents sovereign people who occupy a definite territory. State is more than government and cannot be used interchangeably. Fundamental rights are written in Part 3rd of the Indian Constitution. Earlier we were having 7 fundamental rights, but now we have 6. As right to property is no more a fundamental right. Right to equality. That means all persons are equal before the law. This means that all persons shall be equally protected by the law and we cannot discriminate any person on the basis of their religion, caste or gender. Right to freedom. This includes the right to freedom of speech and expression, the right to form associations, and right to move freely or right to practice any profession. Right to freedom doesn't mean that now you are free to violate any other person's fundamental right. So we have these rights, but with some restrictions which we have to follow. Right against exploitation. The Constitution prohibits trafficking, forced labor, and child labor. Right to freedom of religion. This means that every person has a right to profess, practice, or propagate their own religion. Cultural and educational rights. The Constitution states that minorities, religious or linguistic, can set up their educational institution. Right to constitutional remedies. This allows the citizens to move to the court if they believe that any of their fundamental right is violated. That means the above mentioned 5 fundamental rights are protected by this right. Kindly go through these fundamental rights. Students, here I am providing you with glossary of important keywords. As I have already told you that you can write answers in your own words, but you cannot skip the important keywords. So kindly memorize them and note them down in your rough notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.